Hello, Jeremy here. Oh, my program is from what was last time. This was yesterday. Okay, so this is the redrawing example from where I left the presenter. So in this episode, I will be going over animating sprites, and we will be going without my normal text scroll today, so I will just be reading from the script. In this episode, we'll be doing animated sprites. Animation isn't that hard. If you made a flipbook as a kid, you'll know exactly what we'll be doing here. The idea is that you make a sequence of sprites. In the flipbook case, this is a sequence of drawings that you drew, and you'll be flipping the virtual pages, if you will. And that's how you get sprites to simulate the motion. So in this video, we're going to animate sprite squares. The same principle applies to all sprites. It's just you're going to be displaying different images. So let's get going. Okay, to start this off, I'm going to make an easy way to make square sprites. I'm going to make a square class. And this is really dead simple. So we're going to have class square, and it's going to be based off of sprite. We're going to give it two things. Well, besides itself, self, the rect, and the color. You're going to say self.image equals surface. And we're going to give it the width and the height from the rect. The self.rect equals rect. Width, x, y, width, height equals rect. That will extract out the width and the height. So we'll make an image the size of the given rect. So this allows us to say, okay, I want a square that is covered by the bounds of this rectangle. So the region of this rectangle is the color we're going to use. So we'll go self.image.fill, and then we'll put color like that. And that should be it. If we need more than that, we'll add in the draw and update functions. But I think Sprite already implements draw and update stubs, and I don't need a draw and update for this particular class yet. It's so basic that we don't need it at all. Okay. So let's go ahead. I don't want to move around the dragonfly anymore. I want to move around a square. So I'm going to make this the main character. And it's going to be a square. It's going to be a square that is at 0, 0. And it's going to be 50 by 50. No, let's make it 64 by 64 pixels. Because we like powers of 2, and the color I want the square to be is white. So 255, 255, 255. And this is what we're going to animate soon. We don't need you, or you, or you. We can keep the background. I like the background. Let's draw the background before we start the loop. So, group, no, background. I think we're just going to draw the background of the screen. So screen, stop with background dot image, 0, 0. There is probably a better way to do this. Maybe if you clear, let's just try that. Well, let's say, I'm going to put main character here, creating a dragonfly. I don't know if this will work, but let's try it. Group dot clear screen background dot image. The idea here is clear a special functionality, which if there's no sprites that have been drawn, it'll draw a new background. That's my hypothesis. Let's see if it works. Okay. Though it should have happened here, so it might not work. Okay. Okay. And we have this thing. We want to say main character dot rect. So you want to update the main character's rect. And that's why I'm renaming these things, because we're going to start working on the basis for a game. If that hasn't become clear by now, that's the direction I want to take this. I want to make a game of some sort, and hope to bring you along the ways. Okay, so I think that should do it. So let's try it. Ooh. Invalid color argument. Oh, I see. Yes, there's no 2,555. If you want to understand where these numbers come from, is this each color is a byte. So this is a byte, this is a byte, and this is a byte. So this is OXFF, 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 or OB1234, 1234. These are all the same thing. So this is saying we have full red, full blue, full green. So full intensity, this is the color intensity is what you're telling the computer. So full intensity red, full intensity blue, full intensity green will give you white. So that's where these numbers come from. I'll leave it like this just to be funny. Let's do 255 here, so you can see. Okay. I need to instantiate. One thing that I missed. In the super simple setup, I forgot to call sprite.init. So, okay, I'm going to change this around a little bit. There's a way to do this kind of thing. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do this. This is better. I'll do this. So init ourselves. I was going to talk about super, but I don't want to. It doesn't help any. Okay, it's saying I have to give it draw. Okay, fine. Def draw self, and then pass def update self event delta time pass. Okay, that should give it the stubs. Here's the repo. Here's what the repo looks like. Square does not have attribute draw right here. that's telling me that the function wasn't defined on the square object, so it didn't inherit anything. So, which actually makes sense now that I think about it. I didn't have it before, so why would I have it now? It might have updates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment this out for a second to see if that works. Okay. It actually worked. The problem was, you saw the little square, is that I have Dragonfly somewhere else in the code. So I know that because the repo told me so. Error name Dragonfly not defined on line 208. So we can go to line 208 and update that to be main character. Okay. Go to line. So I'm going to go to line 208. Okay, and this is going to be main character.rect. View to says. Okay, is there any more Dragonfly in the code? No, there's only instances of it. Great. Good. Let's try again. Okay, so our character now is this rectangle. It's actually a square right now. So you can see that it's actually drawing as we update. So what we did before, we need to update it so it actually works correctly. This is kind of cool. This is a kind of cool effect. Maybe there could be some sort of game feature where you can, this is like a fog of war kind of thing. Yeah, interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind for implementing some sort of fog of war. Okay, so let's go back. So instead of clear, we're going to have the blit. So screen.blit. Or maybe we didn't. No, flip all happened. Screen.blit background dot image 0, 0. This will give it the initial background image that we want. And here we have a little square. Yay. Okay, so that's the first step. Make our square. Now when we animate, we want to have a series of sprites, so a sequence of sprites. We can do this by going let's say movement or animation sprites for now. Because all of this is going to become a class, and the character is going to become a class and all that stuff. I don't want it to be updating it like this willy-nilly. Like this will be moved into the character class. This movement code will be moved into the character class. The draw code will be moved in, like we'll get all that stuff figured out. Okay. Now, when we animate, we need a bunch of squares, which is cool. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the same kind of square, but we're going to change the color. Okay. So, white first. It's going to make a list. Then I want white. I want white to, let's do gray. So half of it, like 127. 127. Should go gray. Square. And let's copy that out again. Yeah. Copy, please. Thank you. And let's go a little more dark gray. Let's go down to 66. 66. 66. Let's do, I don't want that. Get that. Do a few more colors. Then we want total black. Then we want red R. Then we want red with green, which is yellow. And then we want like green. Let's just do this. Something like this. 0, 0. Okay, let's try something like that. So those are the sprites we just made. Now we just need to have code that goes through each of them and updates the main character's image with these sprites. And that's not hard. We have to do it every tick. So go event.type equals tick. We have to keep track of the animation location, so we need to know the animation index of 0. This is very similar to what we did before. We're just going to cycle through the list. So we're going to go main character dot image equals animation sprites. Oh, we just say main character equals the animation sprites of animation index. So we're just saying the main character is now this new sprite, and we're updating it. We'll see if that works. That might be a problem. I might have to just update the image. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to update the image in the rec. Animation sprites of animation index. Okay. We'll do that. And we want to know if the animation index is less than the length of the animation sprites -1. Just make sure that we can advance the animation. Now we want to know this is going to be a little bit different than before. If we can advance the animation, we'll do so. So this will be animation index plus equals 1. Otherwise, we've gone to the end and we want the animation index to go back to 0. We want to loop this animation infinitely. Then we can update these based on what the animation index is. And every tick we should update the animation. So you should see it blink through real fast. Because this is operating at 30 frames a second. So each sprite is going to be a frame. I might even give you a seizure. And there it goes. Seizing. Okay. Not moving.
Okay.
Okay, so why? Oh, because we do the swap out. Okay. So we need to carry over the rect. Okay, so we need to say x, y, width height is going to be, we don't care about those. We don't care about those, equals main character dot rect. So we want to know the current position of the main character because we want to carry it over here, but with a little bit of a difference. We want to say we want only the width and the height from this one. Because this new sprite could have a different width and height of the old sprite, even though it really shouldn't, but it could. So we want to carry over the position, the X and Y, from where we were, but the width and height we want to be able to change from the new animation. So we're going to have a new rect based on the old position, but the new width and height. So that should fix that. And now you can see we're moving around with our blinky, blinky animated square. Now to solve the problem with the tick, what we can do is we can keep track of basically how many ticks per frame we want. So that's exactly what I'm going to call it. I'm going to go animation ticks equals 0, and we'll say ticks animation ticks per frame. So we want, let's say we want 10 ticks per frame. Let's do 20 just to slow it down. So we're going to do 20 animation ticks per frame. So what that means is we're going to, when we tick, we're going to say if the animation tick is, so we're going to set it to 0. So we want to know when the animation ticks per frame we're only going to do something when it is equal to or greater than or equal to the animation ticks per frame. Okay, this thing, do that. So if the animation ticks greater than that, we want to say animation ticks equals 0. So we're gonna count up, and then else. Let's say animation ticks plus equals 1. So every tick where it is less than the animation ticks per frame, we're going to count the animation ticks. And then once we reach this threshold, we will reset those ticks and go to, and allow it to go to the next animation by doing this code that we did before. This should slow it down. It's a lot slower now. It's too slow, so let's adjust that. This is the cool thing about doing it this way, is we can adjust the speed of the animation now. We'll make it twice as fast. Alright, that's cool. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do it at 5, double that. Okay, so this is the basis of animation. What you would do is you would do this and use different images for the sprite, and they can be a walk cycle for your character. Next episode, I want to take these things that we did so far and envelop them into a class that can be used to control your character. All right, so hope you enjoyed this, and come back again next time. See you later.